Great, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting for Monday, September 23rd, 2024. Would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We will start our meeting at 6:30. All right, the first item on the agenda is the review and approval of consent items. There's only 3 tonight. The first one is an accounts payable manifest for September 24th, 2024 for $72,448.98. The second item is a payroll manifest for September 26, 2024 for $72,629.64. And the third item is the communications received since September 6th, 2024. I'll just read them quickly. September 8th, all of these are for 2024. Jason Brennan, Robert Leary, Kim Queenan, and Steve Gannon was for the survey for the DeRocha property. September 9th, from myself, reminding voting day was September 10th. September 9th, Marion Colby, letter from the Litchfield Historical Society regarding the archaeological survey. September 16th, Heather Snaman, accounts payable and payroll reports. September 7th was Robert Leary, budget for the filing cabinets. September 18th, Marion Colby, letter regarding historic district. September 18th, Kim Kleiner, question about using town meeting video recordings and permission for use in a documentary film. And the last one was September 18th, 2024, Kim Kleiner, Steve Gannon, and Robert Leary on Board of Selectmen updates and budgets. All right. Is there any request for additional items? Anybody want to add or remove anything from consent items?
I'll make a motion we approve the consent items as reviewed.
Okay.
I will second.
John and Steve Gannon. Great. Any other discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No? Opposed? 400. All right. Public input will occur no later than 6:45. So we still have 15 minutes for that. Yeah? Not earlier, no. Let me backtrack. Hi, Michael. Let me backtrack. Chairman Robert Leary is not here tonight. I'm filling in as vice chairman. And also our town administrator, Kim Kleiner, is not here tonight. And we have Karen White, our assistant town administrator, filling in, and finance manager. All right, let's get to our first item of business. Approval of the minutes for September 9th, 2024. I thought Kim Kleiner had a message on this on page 14.
It does.
Yep. Do you know if Matthew was updated about that or not? Let me just read into the record what it is. Just give me a second. Let me go to September 9th. She says on page 14, she mentioned working with a consultant on a report due September 27th with efforts being made to complete it promptly. I do see that on page 14. It's in item C and F, the same statement, and she said this line belongs under item F, not C. Does everybody see that?
Yep.
All right. I only had one, but I can wait. Did anybody else see anything?
No, I looked at it before.
No.
No, all right, so item that I had was page 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th paragraph down. What did you guys get there? Says, let's see where it said it. There was an agreement that the project should be brought forward on the board, before the board for the SIP. Do you see that paragraph, everybody?
Yeah.
So the last said, I mentioned that the SIP had not met for at least a few years, which led to a lull. I just, in context, just want to say something that we have met for the past 3 years. So the lull was before the 3 years. So something, is Matthew here?
No.
Not this Matthew, another, okay. So mentioned that prior to the SIP reconvening the last 3 years, then we can say the SIP had not met for a few years, which led to the lull. I will email that to Matthew. Do you understand what I'm saying there? It just looked like when the gentleman was complaining about the SIP, we didn't do a SIP for 3 years. We've done it for 3 years. We had a lull before that 3 years, so. Anybody else have any comments about that? Anybody else have any changes? Okay. Anybody like to make a motion on the minutes?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from September 9th, 2024, as amended by Ms. Kleiner and Dr. Queen.
We have a first, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Kevin. All right, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. No?
And I'm gonna
Yeah.
abstain. I was out that evening.
Yep.
I did read the minutes, but I haven't watched the video.
Well,
That
since
was
you
a
were
long-
here
It was
there.
a long meeting.
Not on the
I
19th.
think we were there till
Oh,
10
yeah,
o'clock.
yep. I know what you're
All
saying.
right.
I had the
second
ninth,
item.
I'm sorry. You're looking at my.
Planning Board appointment. Leatha Riley, and I hope I'm saying that right, so come up and introduce yourself.
It's Letha.
Letha. Hi, Letha.
You were very quick.
You got a chair.
I have a resume, I don't know.
Okay.
Yep. Thanks. Is it the same one in the portal?
I don't know if it was in the portal
Oh, yeah,
or
does it,
not.
yeah, it looks like
It
it.
wasn't.
Just one's the application, one's a resume.
Yeah, I hadn't put it in with the application, but I did bring it to the planning board meeting, so I thought you might want it.
Sure. Welcome. So, you're interested in the planning board. I see we have the planning board chairman behind you. How are you doing? All right, well, welcome here. Can you state your name again and then your address for the record?
My name is Letha Riley.
Yep.
I live at 29 Bear Run Drive here in Litchfield, and I've lived here since 2020. Moved from Londonderry next door.
Very good. All right, so you're interested in joining the planning board. So what caused that? How did that become an interest?
Well, I thought I was in retirement from public service, but
Boy,
I saw your sign up there and it was out there for a while. And my husband said, I know you're probably going to put your name in. And I said, well, we'll see how long it stays out there. So it was there all summer. And I thought, well, you know, I really do enjoy.
Yeah, I can tell.
I like reading. I enjoy giving back to my community. And since we're relatively new to the community, I thought, oh, why not? So.
Very good.
She's come from Rockingham County.
Yeah.
Londonderry, huh? Spent a little time over there?
Yeah, we were, let's see, we moved here from Chicago in 2007. We
Okay.
came back to the East Coast after a 8-year absence or so and settled in Londonderry. And I was raising children for a while. As I told the planning board, I got bored, so I started watching planning board meetings and started attending them and started with that. And then I ended up running for school board and served 2 terms. And I was in some type of capacity on the planning board from 2009 until, at least I think it was 2009, forgive me. Whatever it
9
says on the
years,
resume,
yeah.
I've lost track.
You're,
It was
you're
about
o-
9 years or so.
yeah.
Yeah. And I had an opportunity to serve on the Southern New Hampshire Planning Commission, which I really enjoyed too. So, yeah. So,
You've
my
learned.
first foray into that sort of thing in New Hampshire. So it was quite enjoyable and I found it very interesting.
So you served 9 years on a planning board in Londonderry. Is that where
That's
Laura
good.
Gandia was, right?
That's,
So that was my concern, because she's in charge of our zoning, but it looks like she also recommended you as well.
I'm also a commercial real estate appraiser
Yeah.
since 2013. I have done, I do a lot of variance work all around the state. So I've read your zoning ordinance. While I don't know each town's intimately, I'm
a big
very
job.
familiar with what you have, what you don't have. I think my biggest challenge will probably be adapting from and understanding how you all do things versus, say, your neighbors. Londonderry is a much larger town with a lot more ordinances, a lot more commercial property. So, it's kind of understanding the community, what precedents have been set, what's acceptable, what's not. Obviously, the guardrails are there in the zoning ordinance, but it's the interpretation of that too, and how it's been interpreted historically is what I'll kind of listen and learn as we go through.
So I see local planning board, I see regional planning board as well, so you're looking,
It's steering committee for a master plan.
Yeah, that's
Congratulations,
good.
you sat in the chair, meeting with every resident.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, that was baptism by fire, as they say.
It always was over there. I had been the building inspector over there for 10 years,
Okay,
prior to you going there, so
yeah.
I
It was
used to go,
actually fun. I met a lot of people.
Yeah,
That
it's a
was
good place.
yeah.
we used to do it all the time.
master plan
I used to
steering
go to the
committee.
planning board meetings all
We
the
don't
time,
have that.
in zoning.
Probably should.
Yeah, so I've never heard of the master plan steering committee. That's-
Yeah, they do it, well,
Do it.
every
Think about
10 years it's required, so, we hired a consultant, actually.
Yep.
So I reviewed the vendor contracts and, tried to summarize and make sense of I think it was 8 vendors, 8 or 9 vendors that were in serious consideration. And, we helped to make that decision, and then we proceeded forward with a vendor and produced a very pretty document. I'm not so sure if all of the items on there were tackled with great gusto, but change is hard. And I think anytime anyone else, particularly someone from the outside, comes in and introduces things that might not be what the community would first think of, I think those things just take time.
So you'll be if you're on the planning board, they'll do the master plan chapters there. For now, yeah. Which is good, but that's how they've been doing it. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Does anybody else have any
This
questions?
is, Mike, this is for a full position.
Yeah.
officer, right?
Yep, there's 2. So
We'll
this,
say they need them.
one's filling in for Kate, right? Kate Stevens, who
This is Kate-
left.
This would be
This is
Kate's
Kate's,
position.
and the other one is Rose.
There's another one that's missing.
Will be the second one coming before us. So both full, right, full members, yeah.
I'll make a motion to appoint Letha Riley to the planning board as a full member with her terms. Do you know what her terms are?
They are on here, let me see, hold on.
They'll be a resident.
3 years.
Planning board, just give me 1 second.
Normally they're good for
So
three
the term will
years.
expire in March of 2025.
Okay, with the term expiring March of 2025.
So she's finishing
Finish
out
out the,
Kate.
yeah.
Kate Stevens' term.
She's finishing Kate's term.
Yeah.
All right, we have a motion. Yes.
Second.
Second. Do we have any discussion? All those in
Quite
favor?
qualified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
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 No. Okay, abstain. Okay. Welcome aboard.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's paperwork, there's gonna be some,
Yeah, we have the paperwork.
and you'll have to go to town hall to get sworn in.
Hey, you've done it before.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Next item, planning board appointment for Russ Blanchett.
Even antique.
Hi,
Good evening.
name and address for the record.
My name is
please.
Russell Blanchett. I reside at 3 Seda Way.
Welcome back. Russ was on the planning board for how many years?
I served 2 terms. So from
terms?
2011 to 2017, I was member, a few of those years as chair.
He's also on LCTV forever.
Yeah.
He says he's officially retired, but
Yeah. Here he is.
you're pulling it back. It's like the mob. You go off feet first.
He was training me
I'm
when
not
I
saying
came
no.
on board. I was new. So, what brings you back?
There's a need.
There is a need, there is a need.
That we need folks, period.
And experienced folks, I think, would be beneficial.
You got
I
it.
bring experience. I think I could sit in this role and help the community to do well.
I think,
How many years did you chair? You chaired also. You were chair for.
I was chair, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 years.
Makes no difference, you a chair.
I did chair.
That's the best way to look. I think you got somebody smiling behind you saying, come on back.
was that before Tom Young? Was that before Tom Young?
Tom Young and I were both brought onto the board at the same time.
Nice man. Yep. Okay.
He was much younger too. I have videos I can show you.
Me or Tom?
Both, actually.
So, I mean, I've known him and seen him, we've served together, so I don't have any questions for him, but does anybody have any other questions?
Oh, I certainly don't.
I know, I see your name there.
I do not.
No, he's been around long enough to know what's right or wrong, plus he used to watch us for years.
I still do.
How boring that was in your life.
Time you never get
All right,
back.
so this term here, let me just read, I think there was a typo on the agenda here. You were gonna fulfill Rose Medina's term, and that is up until March 2027.
Great.
So, does anybody have any other
I'll make a
discussion?
motion to appoint Russ Blanchett as a planning board member with term expiring March 2027.
Second.
Any other discussion? All right,
None.
okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No. Abstain. 400. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thanks, Russ.
All right, so we'll finish signing that. All right, next.
Russ, you're supposed to sit in the corner. That's where you
He
sat
does
for years
cable too,
back
he does
there.
everything. yeah. All right. All right, Ron. Well, let's see the time. It's really barely 6:45. We'll do a few more. Matthew Haley and Chief Jones, Litchfield Police Fire Department, Police Department flag, sorry. Litchfield Police Department flag.
I gotta put up another pole?
So, I don't know if everybody's aware, and I have something to read in a minute, but, Matt told the brother, Joshua? Justin, of course. So, he built the the public safety memorial as part of his Eagle Scout project, over across from the fire department. And they, when Matt had to do his project, he realized there were no flags for the flagpoles. So he went and designed, he was told, unfortunately, by somebody at the police department that we had a flag, which was not true at the time. And so he did a fire department flag as part of his Eagle project, got through that, and then he found out that we in fact did not have a flag. So even though he did not need it for his Eagle project, he came back on his own and said, hey, I would like to do this. So here is the flag, if you will hold that, that we came up with. It keeps with the theme of the stripe, like the town flag, and it's very similar to the fire department flag, obviously with our logo on it, so.
Very nice.
Everybody, you guys see that?
I'm glad you added a little blue to it, because the black and white is just too boring.
The blue is the river. That's the river.
That's the river. Great.
So now, if you will indulge me. Dear Matthew, Chief Nickel and I extend our sincere appreciation on behalf of the Litchfield Fire and Police Departments for your exceptional contribution to the design and creation of our new respective flags. These flags will serve as powerful symbols of unity within our departments and a testament to our unwavering commitment to serving and protecting our community with honor and integrity. In addition to appreciating your efforts on the new flags, we admire your drive and choices you make. From starting your career as a Tiger Scout in the first grade to being the local president of the National Honor Society and president of the Tri-M, which is the Music Honor Society, a member of the Science and Social Studies Honor Societies, and a varsity basketball player for Campbell High School. And congratulations on achieving the rank of Eagle. Your brother Justin's Eagle Project provided the town of Litchfield with a first responder memorial, which we greatly appreciated. When it came time for your Eagle Project, you added the flagpoles and the fire department flag to the memorial. At the time, you were misinformed about the Litchfield Police Department having a flag. Upon learning that we did not have a flag, you took the responsibility despite having completed your Eagle Project. We commend your dedication to ensuring the memorial was 100% finished. Securing final approval for the project and initiating fundraising process required 3 rounds of effort. We are immensely proud of the work you invested in this project and the profound impact it will have in honoring our first responders. Once again, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to your outstanding support. We wish you continued success in all your endeavors.
Thank you so much.
And I think Matt would like to address the board while we have your attention.
Yes.
I'm Susan Haley, 60 Pilgrim Drive, you can say. So as part of the fundraising, we used the money to install the flagpoles. And we never were able to offer the police flag, so we would actually like to get permission to sell the police flag and sell the firefighters flag again, and then donate all the proceeds to the respective Litchfield Firefighter Association and the police fund, if we could get that approval.
I make a motion, we approve we authorize the sale of the flags.
I'd second that one.
I just have a question. Is the fire department okay with this? Police, you're okay with
Absolutely.
this? I just want to make sure, is the fire department okay with this? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Okay. Yeah. So do we have a first? Did I hear a first?
First and a second.
Any other
Second by
discussion?
Kevin.
Yeah,
I have no
so-
discussion?
Any no discussion? All right, let me add, okay.
It's good.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye. No? Abstain. 400. Congratulations.
Keep up the good
Again.
work, Troop 11. I was in that same troop.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That'd be great.
Nice job, Matt.
All right. While you're here, do you want to go on to the second item?
Sure.
Let's do item number 8, Chief Jones, Litchfield Police requests firearms.
So I'm going to start by telling a story. Several months ago, Officer Rebecca Frula was going through the police academy. When it came to the first day of firearms, she brought out her duty-issued weapon from the Litchfield Police Department. One of the instructors saw it and called over the other instructors because many of them had never seen this gun because it's so antiquated. When I came here, to be honest with you, I was very surprised that we were carrying this firearm. It's just a very outdated gun. In fact, it's a Sig Sauer P229, and Sig Sauer has it listed under their classic line now. That gives you any idea. So as you know, I look at things to make the department better. This was definitely something that's, in my opinion, a safety issue. And can greatly enhance our performance if, God forbid, we're ever in a situation where we have to use firearms. And again, if you'll indulge us, Sergeant Mike Clater, who's our resident SWAT member and all-around gun guy, has some data to talk about the firearms, and then we'll get back and talk about the money and all those things.
We got a little handout here. I'll give you. You can look over first before I blab your ears off.
Thank you.
Keep it short and sweet.
I'll try. You guys can look over it and just ask questions. I'll leave it in your hands.
I will say it's a significant upgrade from what you currently have today.
It absolutely is.
You know, and used to use black powder, right?
Just about.
Very historical here.
I mean, as a reference, I'm aware of the department considering replacing their service weapons now for probably the last 6 years, maybe, if not more. There's been discussion, but no decisions. So, it's long overdue.
Is it just the one gun, or, well, so it says red
It's
dot,
designed for all the guns.
red dot design, well, so red dot sight, modular grip, lighter, better recoil, standard for law enforcement. So, okay, so what's their plan?
So at this point, I'm confident that I have enough money in my budget to absorb the cost of this. We went out and got pricing on several different firearms, including firearms from Sig Sauer, Glock, HK, Smith and Wesson, and is that it? That's it. So, and then we got examples of all those firearms, went to the range, invited everybody in the department to go, and by sheer coincidence, the least expensive option was also the favorite option of the officers, overwhelmingly. I think there was one dissenting vote who liked the firearm, just liked another firearm better. So the cost of this would be trading in the old firearms, and the cost would be $14,406.80.
How
And
many,
this is not in the budget, if I recall, correct?
I'm sorry?
This is not in the budget, if I recall, right?
This is not in the budget, no, it's
Okay.
not.
how many is that? What's the quantity of that?
20.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying you can absorb this right now?
Yes, I can.
Is it good for our insurance? I'm assuming. Do we have any legal? Do we have to check with Kim Kleiner on anything legal?
She's aware of it. I can't imagine. I've done this in several other departments. I can't imagine that
Have you
there's a
talked with her
legal issue,
already?
right.
She's out today.
Well, this is the chief's decision whether he buys this
It is?
weapon or it's not the
Comes out of
board's
his-
decision.
Okay, I wasn't
Yeah,
sure
it's
about
not-
insurance.
This is the right direction for the department because it's a much more
Okay,
modern.
calm down. I just did
Hang
a
on.
clarification.
Well,
Okay.
let's
I
not
know-
make
I
a
got-
big-
I buy-
let's
I
not
buy
make a big
into
deal
that.
over it. It's
buy
cheaper ammo, it's more readily available ammo.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Again, I was questioning procedure. So that's all. All right. Does anybody have any other discussion? All right. Do you need us to vote for anything for you, or you're just,
You have to authorize is 50.
You have to
Okay.
authorize, the cash amount.
all right.
What was the
If
dollar
we don't
amount
have
again?
it,
Let me go into here to see if I see it here. Oh,
$14,406.80.
Now, that's in the budget now.
That's
Oh,
what he
it's,
has.
right, it's not a budgeted item, but I have that,
It's
I'm not
cool.
gonna go over my budget because of this.
That's all I care about. Thank you.
I make a motion that we authorize the chief to execute on replacing all of the current service duty guns with, let's see, HKVP 9s as recommended by the department at the cost of $14,406.80.
I'll second that motion.
all right, I have a first and second. Any other discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No, opposed, or abstain rather. All right, 400.
And how quickly does this happen?
It should happen pretty quickly here. All we need to do is reach out to the company and say we want to go forward with their quote and however
Place the
long it takes to
order.
get.
You have to get the PO, so Carol to create one, and then the board has to sign it, but I would just leave it in the paperwork to be signed. We've already approved it.
Yep.
Yeah, please. Perfect. Thank you. Awesome, thank you. Good. All right, let's, we'll do the last item and then we'll go into, public comment. All right, let's do the last item. Chief Dan Jones again, Litchfield Police Policy Towing.
So we didn't have a
Thank you.
towing policy, meaning when we call for a wrecker, we had nothing holding the record company accountable. Or if somebody were to call us and said, hey, you know, you towed my car, what are the fees? We just had no idea. So, we looked at surrounding agencies, their policies, we took what fit Litchfield, we looked at the pricing, we talked to, local tow companies who would likely, we would be calling, and got their fees, their current fees, to make sure that our policy was within that. And again, the purpose of this policy is not to limit a tow company's ability to make money. It is so that we have an understanding of what they're charging, so that if somebody comes back to us and said, you towed our car and it cost us $7,000, we can, you know, at least understand what happened and maybe have some recourse. Again, it's not to limit the tow company. If they have a tow that costs $7,000 and it's justifiable, it is what it is. There's language in here that supports that. So this is just, it's an MOU, a memorandum of understanding, that we will have with any tow company who does any towing for us, to make sure that we're all on the same page. You know, if at some point the tow company comes back to us and says, we need to adjust our prices, we'll look at it and make sure that, again, that we're within, you know, a reasonable percentage of surrounding towns. But for now, we're starting with this so that we have something in our files.
Chief, for the two, I think we use two tow companies today, right? One's primary and one's a backup. Have they reviewed this, and did they have any issues with the fees or how it was documented?
No.
They didn't have any questions then?
No, we went back and forth and talked about it.
I thought the time was incredible, 20 minutes to get here, normal business times. They have 20 minutes to get there, and 30 minutes after business hours. That's
And again, if, you know, if they take 22 minutes,
exactly.
it-
That's
you
still
know,
good.
this is just to have something, and obviously if we need to adapt it, we can.
They're trying to cross the bridge to get here because of the traffic. Let's say that.
So, do you need anything from us here, or is this going
My
in your
understanding
files?
is, I don't need any action from the board on this. This is just to let you know in case you get a question about it, so you're aware of it, and the townspeople are aware of it, and the tow companies are aware of it. But I think we're good.
Does anybody else have any questions? You all set?
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay.
I have 3 other things while I'm
You
sitting here,
do.
unless you want to do your,
You have 3 other things on the list here?
they're not on the list, but since I'm sitting here,
Do you think they're long? Or
no,
a few
they're
minutes? Okay.
2 minutes apiece, if that.
And I did miss the Historical Society Heritage Commission, so I'm gonna pay a price on that. But we'll go, so let's do your 3, we'll
Yeah,
do
the-
the public, and then we'll get back. Yeah.
The school board approached me and asked me how I felt about a comfort dog, which would be handled by one of our officers. They are interested in looking to get grants and helping to fund. So if there is any, not if, to cover any of the costs that may be incurred by adding a canine to the department, which would include overtime for maintenance of the dog, food, veterinary care, all of those things. Nothing has been done on our part yet. I just wanted to let the board know that we're going to be looking at grants. If it gets to the point that we're going to apply, I will certainly let you know before we do that. As you know, you are required to be informed, but I just wanted to put it out there that we are moving in that direction. This is kind of good news. I'm looking at doing a Citizens Police Academy sometime after the first of the year. So that'll be open to any resident or business owner in town. We haven't picked an exact time frame, but it'll be an 8 to 10 week school once a week, you know, an hour and a half to 2 hours a night. So just to let the people know in the community know what we do, how we do it, and to, you know, build some bridges within the community. And then the last thing is, New Hampshire law enforcement is setting up their own accreditation body, or has set it up. And now they're starting to move forward with it. Our department would probably never be able to be accredited nationally by CALIA. Just on cost alone, I'm sure we couldn't do it. But even if we could do it on cost, our building wouldn't meet the criteria. I mean, there's just a million things the way we use part-timers, we would never be able to get accredited. So it's nice that the state is doing something that will be much more affordable and accommodating. The reason why I'm telling you it's kind of the same situation as the K-9 is they are mandating that you use their software or a provider's, a particular vendor's software to do it. There is funding out there to get it. I am going to be looking at it. And again, just kind of giving you the heads up that that's on our radar, that we are going to try to move forward. I would say not in the near future because it will take some time, but we definitely want to start going down that road of getting accredited.
Do you know what software it is?
Power DMS,
We've looked at it before, yeah.
yeah.
What was it called? Power what?
Power DMS.
Power DMS.
DMS, okay, great.
It's the same one that Clea uses too.
So we're actually meeting with them next week. Or, no, I'm sorry, in 2 weeks, just to start the conversation to figure out where we have to go. But again, just wanted to let you know while I had your attention.
Great, thank you.
That's it, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Chief. Nice seeing you.
All right, so it's after 6:45. It's currently 7:06, so why don't we open up public input? Is anybody there in the public? I don't see anybody online. That is not on the agenda. Want to come up and, speak? Or say anything? Bye. Thank you. All right, so we opened it at 6, I opened it at 7:06. Nobody's there. I will close it at 7:07. All right. So next, I'm going to backtrack to number 4 on the list. I went down to number 8. And let's bring up the Litchfield Heritage Commission and Historical Society.
Well, I gotta go backtrack, huh?
Hi.
Hi,
Why don't you introduce yourselves and your addresses?
I'm Marion Colby, 318 Charles Bancroft Highway, Chairman of the Litchfield Heritage Commission.
Stephen Calloway, 168 Charles Bancroft Highway, President of the Litchfield Historical Society.
Welcome.
So our reason for being here tonight is to discuss a project that the Litchfield Heritage Commission has been collaborating with the Litchfield Historical Society on, which is the preparation of exploring the possibility of bringing forth a warrant article to the voters regarding the development of a historic district along Charles Bancroft Highway. You have a letter in your correspondence, should be for tonight, that I wrote to the board. I don't know if you want me to read that letter, or do you will read it in yourselves in your correspondence?
I would say we should read it into the record. Do you want to read it?
I'll read it.
Okay, since you wrote that.
Well, on the agenda that we have right here, so I don't have a copy of it.
Yeah, it's in the portal, yeah.
September 12th, Board of Selectmen, dear board members. During your meeting on 9/6/2024, the topic was raised that the Heritage Commission is working with the Litchfield Historical Society on exploring the possibility of bringing forth a warrant article to the voters regarding the development of a historic district along the Charles Bancroft Highway. The board seemed to be caught off guard about this, and some were upset to learn that Jay Mankara from NRPC has been helping us with the statutes regulating historic districts, researching other historic districts in the region, and writing up a draft of our plan. The Heritage Commission bylaws and rules of procedure clearly state under the powers section number 5 that the Heritage Commission can coordinate activities with appropriate service organizations and nonprofit groups. So it is appropriate that for the HC to work with the Historical Society, which is a nonprofit organization. The town's master plan has a chapter, number 7, which was adopted in 2002, on historic resources, and in subsection 8, it addresses historic districts and mentioned that while there was an unsuccessful attempt in the 1990s to establish a district, that we should readdress this in the future. The Heritage Commission is revisiting this part of the master plan now. As chairman of the Heritage Commission, I reached out to the State Division of Historic Resources to get direction on how to approach this project. Our contact with the state advised me to contact the NRPC, which I did. Jay Mankara sent us information and agreed to meet with us. We decided to collaborate with the Historical Society because they have a broader outreach to town citizens so that we could involve other people in town and get additional input. Also, our meetings would not be subject to the availability of meeting space and times. At your last meeting, there seemed to be some upset about who would be paying Jay Mankara since the Heritage Commission does not have a budget. Mr. Mankara has kindly agreed to do this work without charge. I was surprised that board members did not seem to know about our work on this project. Our Heritage Commission agenda has mentioned the Historic District in the last 3 months. In June 2024, we discussed forming a committee to work on the Historic District. In July 2024, we discussed the initial meeting of the committee, and in August 2024, we had a report on the committee's work. I totally understand that time constraints can easily prevent our selectmen's rep from attending every meeting, but I believe the agendas are posted as well as the minutes and the meeting videos are available. We certainly are not doing anything underhanded. We have been totally transparent about our process. It's unfortunate that in a town the size of Litchfield that there are so few people to man all the boards and commissions and other nonprofit groups. This leads to overlap of personnel, but I hardly think that things become dirty when there is collaboration between the Heritage Commission and the Historical Society, as was stated at the last Board of Selectmen meeting. I understand that a committee member reached out to the new building inspector for zoning maps and freely discussed our project with him. We apologize if that was confusing to everyone, and we are not at that stage of the project yet. The members of the Heritage Commission and the Historical Society work hard to preserve our heritage for all citizens, and we thank you for your support of historic projects in the town in the past and look forward to your continued support in the future. Sincerely, Marion Colby, Chairman, Litchfield Heritage Commission. So I just wanted to clear that matter up, that we were not trying to do anything underhanded or behind the board's back or behind the townspeople's back. We had been perfectly transparent about this throughout. So to report on our, our committee is here. A lot of the people from our committee, we reached out to the town citizens so that we would get input from people other than just the several who are on the Historical Society and the Heritage Commission, and we got a good response from people, and people have worked very, very hard on this project, researching the historic districts in other towns to find out what kind of restrictions they put on their their historic districts, and we have come up with a draft, which I'm going to let Stephen explain the draft proposal that we have developed in this activity that we've been collaborating on. And we have a draft which we have given you copies of, and you'll see that it's, unlike the plan in the 1990s that was unsuccessful, this one is much less restrictive. Stephen?
Can I jump in
Yeah.
for 1 second? Just listening to the letter in my head again. The one comment you made about having these discussions in not a public forum.
Mhm.
If the Heritage Commission is an appointed position by the Board of Selectmen, it is in fact a public board commission. Those kind of discussions, especially when you're talking about stuff like this, probably should be done in the public.
Well, the meetings are public.
No, the Heritage Commission meeting is public.
Yes, but
other-
so are the other ones, and they've been advertised. They've been advertised to the best of my ability in the town to let people know when we were holding meetings and that everybody was welcome. Every town's member was
Are you
welcome.
speaking of the Historical Society meetings?
They're collaborative meetings between our board and the Historical Society, so that
We
we
were
can-
just using the Historical Society building as a space to meet.
The Historical Society is not a public entity, it's a.
No, but
Well, anyone can draft
Oh, I
a
know,
warrant
I
article.
know.
You don't
I'm
have
just-
to be a commission.
I'm speaking.
I
of-
understand what you're saying, John, but I'm saying to you that in the bylaw and in the RSAs of the state, that the Heritage Commissions in general are permitted to collaborate with historical societies and encouraged to do so. So obviously, historical societies in other towns are probably not public entities either. They're probably private organizations. But we are within our guidelines, and it's within our, if you look at our bylaws of the, that were adopted by the town, that it says that we can collaborate with other organizations. So how would we then be able to collaborate if we couldn't meet with them?
I think they're saying you have to collaborate in public.
Well, I mean, I know, but how
I think
much
that's
more
what it's
public
saying.
can we get than
Yeah.
to say to people, these meetings are open and every person in town is welcome to come?
No, I hear you. You raised a point, another point was people don't necessarily pay attention until they hear something they don't like, maybe, is what's going on sometimes. I guess my only reason asking the question was, I think we were confused by the activities, because I watched the meetings, I did hear the conversations, so I'm not the one that didn't hear it. But I think when this commission is making a decision like this, maybe we should have saw this sooner, that's all. Or we should have been more aware of that.
I know, but isn't this why we have, I mean, Steve,
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we started talking about this at our HC meetings, which are televised. The minutes are publicized and the agendas are publicized. I had it on the agenda for whatever months I just said.
Yeah.
It was on the agenda, so if somebody said, wait a minute, Historic District, what are you doing? Then come to our meeting or tune in, and you'll know all about what we know.
All right, let's get to the meat of it. This is what we're really here for, so.
Okay, I understand, no, but I just
No,
want to
I hear what you're
clarify,
saying. I
because
agree
I
with
was very hurt by the fact that it seemed like somehow or other there was some dirty business going on, because I assure you there was not.
No. I don't think that was really what the comment was about either. but-
Okay, well, I heard it many times because I listened to it over and over again. And
To yourself.
I want you to know that it was not, maybe it should have been clarified that that wasn't what was meant, but that was what was said. That's what anybody watching that meeting, after watching that meeting for over 3.5 hours, to finally end it with a 10-minute segment where I felt thrown under the bus, was hurtful. Go ahead, Stephen.
Well, I think this board apologizes for that.
Thank you, appreciate it, accept
And
it.
we are here to hear what you guys are doing, what you're planning, what your thoughts are. I just wanted to clarify the public meeting part.
I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have to apologize for not being represented at the meetings as much. We did alter the times to accommodate the full-time member, and it's just become a conflict with my work, and I
Okay.
can't get there.
I apologize for not being here for those meetings.
Well,
I
it's all
understand.
Both of July in August, okay?
Okay, I understand, Steve.
All right.
So, there was a great outcry in town about the demolition of the Corning House at the Dark Hall Horse Ranch property.
Yep.
And there was also an outcry about the demolition of the Wilson farmhouse. And people seemed to be very upset. And so we thought, well, this is something that we could work on and help the town with. And we have come up with a very non-restrictive policy. There are no policies of restriction of any sort for homeowners and landowners in a section that will run from Page Road to Robin Avenue, which is the residential district of Route 3A, Charles Bancroft Highway. We are not becoming involved in the commercial zones, which are north and south of those bounds. The only thing that we are trying to do is to prevent further demolition of historic properties along the main road. And that's why we wish to establish this district, so that in the event that a developer or someone else comes in and buys one of the old farms or other properties along the road, they will know ahead of time that there is a restriction against demolishing the old buildings of historic importance on the property. But in terms of other restrictions, we don't have any. People can still do whatever they'd like to with their property. They can paint their house any color they want to, any type of roofing they want, any windows they want, any landscaping they want. We aren't getting into those issues. This is strictly to try to prevent further buildings from being demolished. And it is what is called an overlay district. The current zoning laws will remain in effect and intact, and this will just be on top of that. And in a not too long ago survey, when was that survey done, Mary?
The economic development survey was overwhelming in the responses that people wanted to maintain the rural character of Route 3A, and that
And this is the only way it can be done.
we're not trying to have control over if somebody has a piece of property that can be built on, but it contains an old house. We're not trying to suggest that they build a certain style of home on that, but they would have to incorporate the older piece into it.
Right.
That's all our interest is.
And if someone buys a piece of property for development, and there is an old structure on the property, they may still apply for a demolition permit that will come before the Heritage Commission to see, because not all buildings are worthy of saving.
Correct.
These are the buildings that are worth saving, and then it will be determined whether or not demolition should proceed.
Do we have a list of those said buildings?
No, this is a district.
Yeah,
And,
but
you
I-
know, there are houses, my mother's house, which is 75 years old next year. That's a classic example of mid-century architecture. So that should be considered. It's not just 18th century or 19th century homes. It's the entire district, because they all contribute to the character of the district. And we don't have any objection from someone buying property in that district and building a modern home. You know, we expect that to happen, and we'd welcome it. It's another architectural feature to this little district.
Can you clarify 2300.09? Is that just a temporary district and then it ceases to exist after? I want to make sure I'm reading
Oh,
that.
the Litchfield Heritage Commission would be, so in other words, it wouldn't be a Litchfield Historic District Committee, which is what we've developed in collaboration with the townspeople who have joined us and the Historical Society. If this gets adopted, that would cease to exist, and the enforcement of this zoning would be, of this warrant article would be under the Heritage Commission. So you wouldn't have a Heritage Commission and a Historic District Commission.
So I've been away from the Historical Society for a while, like 6 months, and I just started back. You actually have a Historic District Committee already?
Well,
Is that the
just people-
collaboration you're calling
Just the
that?
people that have come together
Okay.
to work on this are being referred to as the
Okay.
committee.
Right.
So you have a group that's working on something for you right now.
Right, we're all working
They're
together.
all here.
Mostly
I
everybody's
can see the
here.
backyard.
50% of the people happen to be either members of the Historical Society or the
Or
Historical.
This is
related.
what I said about this overlap.
It's a family
Because-
reunion.
And
Don't come out.
50%
That's the
are
1%.
private citizens who are concerned and wanted to join the committee.
Right.
So 2300, well, 230009 just says that when this is get adopted, the Heritage Commission will be the party that's
Sure.
responsible.
I just want to make sure. I didn't know
Right.
you had a
Not the
committee.
Historical Society.
Oh,
No,
no, no,
no,
no.
it'll come under
No.
the Heritage
No,
Commission.
this has
Should
nothing
be
to do with the
administrated
Historical Society, other
by
than
the Heritage.
we helped with the ordinance.
And we're not trying to, because we don't want to abolish the Heritage Commission because the function is town-wide as far as taking,
Right.
looking at the demolition permits. And there may be properties in other areas in town that we would want to consider, although we wouldn't have any kind of authority to say no to other, it'd be the same as Dark Hall and in the Wilson property. We said no, but it didn't hold any weight. We would like to have a little bit of weight because some of the townspeople, seemed to feel that we were ineffective, which, well, we don't have any power, so yeah, we're a little ineffective.
There wasn't any power from the beginning.
No, I realize that,
Okay.
but that's what we're trying to
Yeah.
alter.
The enforcement procedure, section 10, I'll call it, the ZBA will be the enforcing power. Actually, it's the town. Okay, because it is a ordinance.
Right.
Okay, so that, it will have to follow a procedure and an appeal process, zoning-wise or anything like that,
Right.
like any other use, okay?
yeah.
So that may have to be clarified up. as to-
Worded worded
Right.
differently. I'll put
Okay, and the reason for that, it's an ordinance, ordinance like a zoning ordinance,
Right,
or whatever it has, the procedure, we gotta follow that same procedure, as if it's for planning board
Mhm.
or whatever, okay? We don't deal with Litchfield, the state does that. That's how I look at how that's gonna be written up. I'm sorry I didn't read, but I didn't see this till now.
okay, that's all right.
Okay?
And of course, we wouldn't be, this would come before the voters, so they would have, we're not trying to impose something on the
But
town
we
that,
would certainly welcome any suggestions that you might have, that you think that we've missed something, or
I understand what you're
maybe
saying.
something should be changed a
I'm
little
gonna
bit,
read it
something like
a
that.
little more,
okay.
okay? Myself,
Yeah,
We developed it from with Jamin Carr.
Okay, so Jay had some.
yeah.
Well,
Jay's been involved with this, right?
Jay was
Yes.
involved with
Yeah,
that, and
yeah,
we
okay.
cut it down a lot from what Jay had.
And this would be the least restrictive historic district in the Nashua Regional Planning Commission, of any town in the commission.
I agree with that, because I've been
Because
through.
it is, as we said, we are not trying to do anything to homeowners. They may do whatever they wish with their property. It is just solely to prevent the demolition of one old house after another, because there are not that many of these early houses left.
Well, mine's still new.
Yours is, well, no, yours is in the district.
He's 70 years old,
Yeah.
that's all.
Almost as old as you, Kevin.
That's new. The
Just a
guy in the
youngster,
back is
just a
still new.
youngster.
We all are. My other house that I own is much older, back in the 20s.
Right.
And I don't want to talk about that one, it's a money pit.
So what's your next steps with this?
We just-
Feedback, but
We just wanted you to be aware of this and give you a copy of what we've worked on and concluded. And then we will have to,
The board's going to review this as well,
Right.
okay?
then we will have to have hearings. A hearing
We got to go through all
anyway.
the hearing
Two
process.
hearings.
Right,
So
This is the
Presented to
regulation on the
interested
ordinance.
townspeople.
I would assume this is a ordinance, wouldn't planning board take?
That's what I was
priority
asking
over this?
Michael.
So I think you would have to
Is there-
present it to planning.
yeah, public hearing.
Planning would run the
Yep.
public hearing
Yep.
for you.
Yeah, that
right.
would be
but
fine.
and that's why I said when we contacted, we were looking for the maps, when we contacted the new
Building
officer.
inspector, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But we weren't at that step. We weren't at that stage, but because it caused so much confusion, we decided we better come and show you what we had.
And then
So
work
that
on the
this
other
is
part.
no surprises and no, so everybody knows where we are.
Well, your map is here, you can use this as your map.
Right, but you can also get them online, I think, from
They-
the
they
National
are
Regional
online, yeah.
Planning.
Yeah, they're online, but I'm just saying to draw something on it. How far back we going? Off the road or something like that?
No,
okay?
No, just an acre, the front acre, either side of 3A.
Okay. That's what I'm saying, okay?
Because all
It's
of
a
the
question
buildings
that's
are
gonna come
on
up.
those
Yeah, we're
spots.
not going off-road here, no.
Okay,
Now, is this something the ZBA can
yes, they can.
adopt, or do we have to have
No,
like?
planning has to adopt.
Planning has to adopt it.
Planning
Has to bring it forward to the warrant.
Warrant, yeah, right.
Warrant,
So
so
we'll have to have a
ZBA will be
hearing
the
and so
enforcing
forth.
I
act.
mean, I would suggest we get it in the planning board schedule,
Yep.
but I would have our legal review it also.
Right. Right,
and they'll have to have.
I mean, I'm sure Kim Kleiner will want legal review.
right, so I'm sure we're not at that stage, we just wanted to, like I said, bring it forth and,
I think, I appreciate
think
it,
you're-
because I think we're all confused the last few minutes.
yeah, well, that's the whole point, we didn't want it to be confusing, we
I-
wanted to be open about it, so
Well-
that we could,
I think right now is that this is something that you could sit down, get on the agenda.
right,
There's a gentleman behind you who knows how to run the planning board,
we know.
okay?
Right there.
We can go from there and you can get it on the agenda to start putting it into the system. That's what I'm saying now,
Right,
okay?
okay,
There's the enforcement actions, the writing on that, stuff like that, how that applies in. It's all part of like the zoning regulations as written. And
right.
you will fall into that.
So we're
same
just gonna
thing.
go with our next steps, but we just wanted, our goal tonight was met to let you guys know what's going
Introduce
on.
this.
We have two other quick items.
No, but I like what you're doing here, because we had to do that with the Heritage Commission. You had to get buy-in, build it. You had
Yeah.
to go to every group and get input.
Right.
You got it.
You're missing I think you are missing a little bit with the town as far as, and I know it's evolving.
draft, though,
When we were
right.
doing the Heritage Commission, it was like, who would do what role? And
Right.
what was the timing, right?
Mhm.
Building inspector had 3 days to do this, or.
Right.
So I'm not sure if you have that still in here. You're gonna have to talk.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Right,
part
but
of
we'll
the-
have to
This-
meld the two, yeah.
That's part of the.
And
when
build
you-
it up, build your
Yeah.
document up. But
This is just the beginning step.
This is just to let you guys
I
know
can
where
see
we
how
were
you're
headed
gonna
with.
add stuff into certain sections.
And
And they're going to the same groups
does
we did
anybody have
before.
any other questions on this particular item for us? Because we can, you can, anybody who has questions or in the public who has questions, we'll certainly, do our best to answer them.
But we just didn't want anyone in the town starting to get upset with the suggestion of a historic district, because people always assume
I'm gonna tell
that
them
they're
they
gonna
can't
be
paint.
terribly restrictive. And the one that was printed in the 1990s was terribly restrictive.
At that time.
That is not the goal here.
Is this a two-step process? You need a historic district first, and then there's a dependency that if that passes, then the zoning ordinance goes up, right? I don't know, that's what
Well,
you're gonna have to
that's
talk.
what we're
They're two
gonna-
different things, I think,
yeah.
right? Can you have a historic district on the land use first?
Yes, you can.
And then if that passes, then they go for
These
this.
things
You know,
apply.
when you write up the warrant articles, there's dependency. It just says if this passes, then you
This
can
will be
go for
my
this one.
first time working
Okay,
on a
so-
warrant article.
How that
So I'm
works-
gonna learn as I go. I'm
Okay.
just gonna I confess that to
Basically,
everybody.
you're in the right pack. It's very simple. The ordinance comes into place. You've got the district that you're going to delineate as part of the ordinance. Okay? Just say for such and such. And based off what Steve said, it's not the whole parcel of land.
Right.
Down the future, you still do stuff to it. But it's the
Right.
existing buildings that are still standing.
Right, that we want
Okay,
to see.
yours, mine.
Right.
Especially yours. Yours is a young one. Okay? But I'm just saying, okay?
Okay, now,
I'll just add one more thing.
Okay.
If you look at the warrant articles for 2017 or 18, when that went in,
right,
you'll see the dependency of how they were written. One had to be true, one had to pass. If the historic district
Yeah.
didn't pass, then there's no sense
if one
passing.
didn't
Right, I
pass, the
understand.
other
If you
one
just
did.
look at how the warrant
so
articles
the
were.
warrant article goes to
Then
the
you can
voters, and
work
then
on
the
that.
zoning thing comes in after that?
Nope.
Is that what you're
You're
saying?
gonna kind of put them on the
So-
warrant article together. Yeah, that'll be, like, if the historic district passes.
Puzzle piece,
Then
okay.
this piece. But I can show you where that is later.
I would work with the town administrator
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
process.
You just look at them and you'll see them.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
She
Okay,
knows
my-
the process. She's
Two
been doing
more
it for years.
quick items. First of all, this Thursday, on the 26th of September, at 6:30, in the community room of the fire station, there will be a presentation. Stephen, you explain it.
The old stuff you found.
Presentation by Matt Labby, who was the lead archaeologist on the Phase 2 survey of the Thornton's Ferry site, which is exactly across from the old fire station and the old town hall. And he will be having a discussion about the survey, and also will be bringing back the artifacts that were retrieved, and they will be on display.
Good.
So it should be an interesting discussion.
Yeah,
And
then-
everybody's welcome and encouraged to attend,
Yeah.
all the public.
I'm glad
And
they
you're
mowed
taping it.
the
I
lawn
thought I
mower.
saw an
It's-
email
you know,
chain. It's
They
gonna
will
be,
Going up live and.
it'll be
Okay, great.
recorded.
All right, and the other item I want to just mention, because I know it has come up at a meeting here and at our Heritage Commission as well, that we will be working on the 250th anniversary of the country's events, which will be in
2 years.
around 4th of July in 2026. And we are collaborating with the Historical Society. We were asked to by the Board of Selectmen, and both organizations were asked to work together. And I also want to put that out, I have put it out to the public and received quite a few people, responses from people who want to be involved. And I would like to get, so I'm going to reach out to the different organizations in town, the different boards and commissions, to try to get input from everybody, because we could see something going on in different areas of the town, simultaneously or
And
several days.
maybe over a
and-
couple-day period.
Right,
It doesn't
maybe
all
over
have
a
to
long
happen in one
weekend.
day.
So,
Yeah, the old one was one day.
and we are having the kickoff meeting will be on the 24th of October at 6:30 in the fire station community room, so that we will have accessibility for anybody coming in who, has any handicapped accessible issues, and, plenty of seating and so forth for people to come, and we will start working on our ideas for it then, and developing, taking ideas from the public. So we want that out there, that we're gonna be working on this. No surprises.
Yeah, and that will just be the inaugural meeting to see who's interested, what committees we can form, and go from there. Because it's gonna be a very busy 2 years.
Exciting.
Do I have the fireman's mustard again?
maybe?
Well, we've got the
We had
mustard,
it
we
the
got the
last
mustard
time.
Got the
field
mustard
cleared
ground,
out,
yeah.
although that wasn't for firemen.
But
I didn't-
we could adapt it. It could be adapted, yes. Okay, that's all we have.
That's
Is that right,
great.
Steve?
That's all.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Good job, Marion.
Michael, are you staying for a minute? Do you mind? In case we have a question about Reggie Moreau, if you remember that one? Yeah. Oh, I don't know yet, but if you, can you just stay for one more?
I think he's here
item?
for the Cutler.
Yeah, that is, but in case Reggie comes in.
Yeah.
All right.
The one
Just it'll
for
have
Reggie's,
updates from the planning board.
Excuse me.
Although you might.
if the roast.
All right.
I'm a little tired of this right now.
Are you okay? Yeah. So he's not here right now, but he might come for the last item, so we only have two more items left. Welcome
Just in
up.
relation to
Come
what?
on up, number 8. 255 Derry Road, LLC.
This ought to be a cut and dry
Off-site
situation.
improvements, Cutler Road.
Do you have them on yet?
We have it on
They're
We have it,
online.
we have it right there, yeah.
Okay.
It's not, I can't read it because it's not on paper.
33 pages?
Can we get them up there, or is that,
They're dealing with the state, okay?
we get them up there, or is that too tough? We're gonna,
Manager said that you guys needed to have this all approve it, so I had to make sure you got everything. I didn't want to leave a stone unturned or a rock unflipped.
we're gonna put that up there. He'll dial that in.
You can start. I'll
Yeah,
get up in a
you have
second.
to state your name and where you live, and
Charbonneau, I live at 401 Charles Bancroft Highway. I'm here representing Rose Meadow, 255 Derry Road.
no problem.
And
Welcome.
with me is Morgan Hollis, my attorney.
How are you?
In case you guys get out of hand.
Morgan's got a better reputation. He's just elder now. Been doing this for a long time. Boy, Rick, that's gonna make the curb nice.
If you turn to page 9, that's probably the relevant page.
That's the one with the picture with the Cutler Road going in. and
It's got
everything.
Cutler, right.
You got it.
So I'll just jump in and give a
7 or 9 too, same thing.
little background is that across the street, property was purchased by 255 Dairy Road LLC from BAE Systems, and then it went through the planning board process. Michael, Kim are familiar with it, and development was approved, and along with it, conditioned upon making certain improvements to, within the right-of-way of Dairy Road. Also requested by the planning board was to take a look at Cutler Road, and after reviewing the situation, there's a parcel of land that's a triangular piece that's owned by the state of New Hampshire, and 255 Dairy Road's engineer looked at essentially straightening Cutler Road at the end and make it a T-up intersection, and that had to be approved by the state, by the DOT. They've given their preliminary approval to it for design, and we're here sort of walking by because the section of Cutler Road, which is outside of the right-of-way, while it's on state property, will become a dedicated town road. So we're essentially relocating the town road, and there are multiple ways to do that. But the easiest way is, we're showing it on a plan. It'll be a dedication of land by the state, essentially, and then it'll be acceptance once the road is built and approved, and be up to the town road agent and to vote acceptance, and the town board of selectmen to vote acceptance of the new roadway, and probably discontinuance of the old. So that would be the legal process here, but before we go farther and start the construction, get the final design, construction design, we're here to make sure you all see this and it doesn't just come out of the blue, hey, we want to change this. But this is how it evolved, and shows the layout.
Basically, we have a turning lane on 102, so there's a turning lane in each direction.
No, just the one I can see, Rick. It's heading,
Yeah, there's a
heading
left turn if you're
east, you
headed.
have it.
Yeah, if you're headed easterly, there's a left turn lane onto the new Cutler Road, and if you're heading westerly, there's a left turn pocket onto what's called, on this plan, Development Access Road into
Yep.
the private. So there's the right-of-way improvements, which the state has given preliminary approval to, and then the, as I say, when you get outside the state right-of-way, it's on state property, but it becomes a town road at that point. So it's within your jurisdiction of final acceptance. It's a little bit of an oddball, because normally if you were laying out a new road, you would be doing a petition to lay out a road, or you'd have the owner of the property dedicate the road on a plan that goes before the planning board, and then it just gets approved by the planning board. This is sort of a hybrid in that this plan is not up for development before the planning board, it's across the street. But the state will be the applicant to have the roadway accepted. And Rose Meadows is the facilitator, or 255 Dairy Road will be doing the construction at its cost. No cost to the town.
Unless you want to chip in.
So because I stepped off the planning board, last we knew you were heading there. And so did they make you do this, or was that there, or are you
Well, I
offering?
think between the town, what the town wanted,
Yeah.
and what both the state and the town.
The state did too.
If you
It
don't
made
want it,
sense,
I
yeah.
think maybe I'll get
So the
it.
state made you do it?
I would say that they requested that we do
Okay.
it, yes.
Because I wasn't there for that.
It was
Kindly.
I mean, it's
They-
a drastic, that's
It's gonna
a
be
huge
nice.
improvement for Cutler.
Yeah, this was presented voluntarily, and the state has approved that as appropriate design for that
Yep.
area.
And
We already got the state curb cut.
if
Yeah.
you have, you these could be the 100% plans. Yeah.
Pretty close,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, these are the 100% design.
I don't think that they've approved.
September 11th, no, they're not approved,
Yeah.
but the first
Correct.
set that we gave you was a 60%
60%.
design.
Yeah,
This is the 100% design that's gone to the state.
That's the one
for
over
final
there.
Approval. Okay, so this,
Yep.
what you have right now is.
Final
is
construction
the
design.
final
Yep.
design.
basically what I'm seeing here, Rick, it does show that the final.
Yep.
On page 7, you can see where the right-of-way, all that's coming out.
Yeah, if you just look at the date on it.
It's right up there. 9 is a little smaller detail.
It's a big improvement for Cutler Road. It brings it up where it needs to be, so it's not, everything about it.
It brings it up too.
Oh, so it's
right?
you're not gonna be sitting at that angle to get out, it's gonna be a little more level?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
gotta meet today's standards. What's there doesn't meet any standard.
That was built when we had horses.
And then it looks like
built when it was
obviously
taken.
you'll be widening that section of Dairy Road?
We widened it a little bit, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that doesn't
because
need that.
we gotta put a turning lane in, so
Yep.
we're probably widening it about 10 feet, a little bit on each side.
That's what it's showing.
Within the right of way or on our property,
Yep.
whatever it is. We had to move. And that's all being done.
So Kim, what action do we have to take?
Just to let you know that we're
Just-
doing it.
Okay.
That's about it. It's a planning,
There
it's
wasn't
a
anything on
planning
the-
function, and the
It's up
selectmen,
really, I mean,
Yeah.
I've never come to the selectmen before for doing an improvement like this, so.
As I say, it's a bit of a hybrid, because
Yeah,
it's not within the bounds of the site
Project.
development plan.
Right.
It's always been the plan.
But it's
We've
all,
always done
it's
it
all
at the
part and
plan.
parcel. Normally, you're staying within the right of way. We're going outside the right of way, and we're not going on our property, but we're doing it with the state's approval, so.
the land across the street, Rick, from your entrance, who owns that now? 32, 2-32, I can't tell.
Over here.
Oh, that's, what's the,
That used to be Phillips? Yeah, okay.
Might show.
I'm just asking. It's not a problem, though.
I don't even know.
I don't think I saw anything in the portal.
I think it's Phillips. No, it's not.
It's just
The
a
only
link.
thing that'll, would be happening when we do build Cutler Road, we're gonna make a detour that, and we don't affect any houses,
No,
no
no, no.
driveways, there's nothing, we're gonna do the detour around on
Yep.
whatever the name of those roads are. So if anybody comes down Cutler Road, they'll take a left and come out
Go down to the other roads, come back on the backside.
By the dentist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember the names, thank you.
I travel that intersection every day.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're here.
That's it.
Beautiful.
All we got.
Thank you. It's gonna improve the safety over there. It's
Yep, it's
that
gonna make it
turn
plowing a
that's
lot
going
better.
downhill, or the
That's when
ice.
they gotta get the state to address 102.
That's right.
Page Road, this would be a safer alternative.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
should we
they
just
can
put it on
turn down
record that
Cutler
we
Road to
review
get
it
the
and we
page
review
without
the
getting hit.
Yeah, I think it'd
Would
be
you like a
nice,
motion?
just in case there's some question that comes up, that there's a record showing that maybe you make a motion to approve the concept that's presented.
I'll make a motion then that we approve the concept for the new intersection as proposed by Continental, I'll say that,
255 Dairy Road.
255 Dairy Road,
LLC.
okay, for the improvement of that said street, within the state right away with what it is too.
It's within the state right away,
All
and
the
then
way
it goes
through.
on state property.
Yep.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a first and second. Any other discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No, abstained? 400.
When do you think you'll start that?
We gotta get approval.
They'll issue a final permit and
We have to,
take a
The
little bit
the
longer.
DOT and,
Yes.
yeah.
You think it'll be this fall or probably next spring?
we've been at this a long time.
I think we'll see it all happen when the sand's moved.
It takes, I honestly believe it'll be, the earliest will be April.
I agree.
I believe that. I don't think we'll get an approval in time.
Till that time?
The DOT is slow right now.
Posted, they gave us a bond amount, which was $855,000, which we're putting the bond up, so they may let us start without approval, but we don't have that yet.
You get a letter saying you're at your own risk.
So we're always at our risk, no matter what.
I know.
We're always at our, whatever
I
we
know.
do.
Rick, goes without saying, I know you'll do it anyway, but just make sure that, well, could you let Kevin Brown know when you plan on doing
Well,
it?
we'll have a pre-construction meeting.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I just wanna make sure I'm sure he's listening too, and I think he's aware of it anyway, but
yeah, we'll have a pre-construction before we start,
I appreciate it.
especially on Cutler Road.
He's happy about that too.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you very
Okay.
much.
Nice seeing you too, especially the youngster in the end.
That's right.
Been a while.
Have a good night, folks.
Still stay, just got one more, okay? Can you stay just in case? Sure. Okay, all right. Item number 9, abatement for map 18, lot 66, in the amount of $83. All right, is anybody here for the abatement?
Yeah, yeah,
Is that me?
yeah.
Yep, the tax collector
If you
for
wanna talk.
$83?
Open
Come on
doors.
up and introduce yourself, huh?
Is there any, I mean,
Yeah, do we have to,
there's no.
He doesn't have to.
oh, he doesn't?
It's
The
a-
pictures
no,
were
you don't have
lovely.
to.
Yeah.
All right,
Sure why
The
this
Open
wasn't
Doors
in
Church, right?
all right, so let me just go back to that one then. Give me one
So I mean,
moment.
I can speak to that too.
Sure, absolutely, please do.
So, in anticipation of a pending appeal with PTLA, Open Doors reached out, to Lauren at, Avatar, and they came in and, sat down and had a discussion with Lauren and myself. And, it was a good discussion. Yeah, we talked, for a little bit, and, talked about what they use, their land for. They sent us some pictures, showed us, what they were doing with it, and, Lauren recommended, going back to the 100% exemption and, abating the first issue tax bill.
Okay,
I don't remember this.
all right, so do we need to make a motion for this?
Yep.
All right, so, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'll make a motion that we approve the abatement for map 18, lot 66, in the amount of $83.
All right, we have a first from John. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second from Steve. All right. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
All right.
No? Abstain. 400. $83. It's money. It's,
Thank you all very
no,
much.
thank you. That's a lot of time.
I'll let our church know and everybody will be very happy. Thank you. Appreciate
Thank-
it.
Have a good
It's in
night.
there to sign, right?
Good job in the lawns. Good job in the lawns, Open.
I tell you, it's unbelievable.
This has been a bad year. Grass is growing. This has been a tough year. The grass will not stop growing.
Yeah, We, one of our neighbors had like a carrot patch or whatever. The carrot came out, it was like this big.
Wow.
The soil there is unbelievable.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
thanks for,
Yeah.
sorry you had to wait till the end there.
Thank you, Karen.
Yeah,
All right.
okay, take care.
I'm sorry.
All right, so,
You signed the other ones, right, Steve? Yeah.
so number 10, and that's why I have you here, just in case Reggie was here. Open space warranty deed, Talarico Development. So, can you give us an update on that, please?
Well,
Karen?
Kim had, I didn't check to see if she had,
It's in the
email, but she had
folder
said
there.
that she had talked to, Attorney Sweeney from the Talarico, and they both, agreed that it was a correct deed.
Sweeney, Sullivan, which one? Sullivan,
I think it
okay.
was, yeah, sorry.
So, let me just see what I have to do here. Let me just look at the open space. So, I see this. It says here, property will be deeded to the town of Litchfield per legal. Requires Board of Selectmen approval. Property will be managed by Conservation Commission.
That's the open space, correct?
Yes, for open space.
That's the, you look at the
Yeah.
plan.
So, but are you hearing anything with conversation with legal that this has changed?
No.
All right, so the deed that's in the folder there, it doesn't have a plan number. Was there a dependency on the plan? You were, I think, trying to explain that.
Yeah, it hasn't.
He has to have that first to get a plan number?
Yep.
So this has to be signed first to get a plan number, but the plan number's not on the document, so that's what I didn't know if he would be here to explain that. So from a planning point of view, I'm sorry, has Reggie Moreau been in about this? Are you understanding this piece of it at this point?
I have attended the Conservation Commission meeting. I know that he has been before the Conservation Commission.
Okay.
That they were working on
Favor of
this
it.
language and stuff, so.
So, okay, so it says it's gonna be managed by conservation and they were okay?
I think they were okay with it, as I recall. I think it
recall
has to go to town council for review, I believe, and,
But it did, right?
Well, that's the
His,
easement, that's the deed.
his-
It's two separate things, isn't it?
well, let me ask from a planning point of view. He's not in front of you for anything else?
not that I'm aware.
Okay. All right, so this is just for us to sign that deed, right? And you're saying
So this is the
there's-
open space deed,
Mhm.
approval for Talarico.
All right,
That's dedicated space that goes down from the back of the subdivision of Route 3A.
Conservation purposes.
so like I said, there's no plan number on it, it's blank, but he needs to
That
get
has to
that
be
to
put
put the
on it.
plan number on it, so that was the,
We can't sign
Catch.
anything till everything's ready to go.
so, are we to sign that, or are we supposed to wait for a plan? Was there a dependency on that? He needs this to get the plan number, do you know?
Yeah, I don't,
Do you think so?
We can't,
I was not,
well, the plan number, the recording number, are you referring
No,
to,
the
or the
plan
plan
Well,
number?
isn't it just, it's right here, it's tax map 18 lot 62 and tax map 18 lot 28.
But
yeah,
they
the map
list-
and lots are there, it's a plan.
It's the plan number, yeah, that's
Are you
listed
talking
in the
about the
deed
plan
over there.
number at the recording from the state of New Hampshire?
Can you get that out of the
It will
folder?
be the
It's on
plan
page
number
one.
that gets recorded.
That's my question. I just want to make sure. But Mr. Moreau's not here, so I don't want to assume, but if he's not here, he's okay with it. He was on the phone, right?
Well, his
Saying he was
attorney
okay.
agreed with
His attorney
Okay.
agreed it was correct,
It says here, it's Hillsborough County Register of Deed Plan number.
and it's.
The only time you will get that if you record the plan.
Yes.
He needs to record the plan, and then we can go on to the next phase.
All right, well, based on the feedback that I've heard, it's been approved by Kim Kleiner, by their town attorney, their attorney. I'm fine with making a motion that we approve the property,
Subject to approval.
we approve the open space deal, open space deed that's contained within tax map 18 lot 62 and tax map 18 lot 28, as reviewed by, our town administrator, legal, development legal, and this property will be managed by conservation once completed.
Second.
We'll second that.
All right, I still have a question. A discussion. What did you just say?
I'm
about
not
this
surprised.
plan number?
The plan number is,
When he files it.
So
once the plan is filed, we'll get the plan number, then we can approve it from that point
Is that the
on.
dependency I heard? He can't file the plan until he gets this. Now, okay. Now the piece
plan?
comes together. That's
Right.
the plan number that I was questioning. Okay.
The planning board has approved the plan as is, subject to the thing being recorded, that's when you start the subdivision.
Okay, I'm not at those meetings, so
Okay.
thank you.
Planning board
Appreciate
stuff.
that. That was the missing piece for me.
Okay.
So he'll get the plan number now, and that'll be on this with our signatures already on it with an open plan number. That's also a little dangerous. Did everybody sign? Who's missing?
It's signed,
John.
but don't give it to him until we get the
Right.
plan number.
That I agree with.
Okay?
All right. So we had a first and a second in discussion. Any other discussion?
Nope.
Sounds all right. All right. Anybody else? All right.
I'm good.
Let's do a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No, abstain, 4-0-0. All right, it passes, so thank you. That was the question, in case you saw it from a planning board. All right, and you too, so I didn't know what you were up to. All right.
Conservation has approved just the way it is too, as far as I
That's
know.
what you just said as well.
It's my
Thank you.
recollection, I was part of the meetings, and they were in favor of it, so.
Okay, thank you
Goes
very
my
much.
heart
You're
right
welcome
now.
to stay. He's packing up, okay. Town administrator. It's almost over. Town administrator, selectmen reports. Karen, anything from the town administration side?
I know Kim had a few things. So let's see, Board of Selectmen meeting adjustments due to holidays. October 14th has been moved to October 21st. And November 11th is moved to November 18th.
Correct.
The MS4 report is complete, submitted on 9/17/2024. See below, so in the portal they have the MS4. October newsletter will address the budget. Public hearing, 2025 health rates and health trust. Kim will be up there on Thursday.
Okay.
Hopefully we have some news on that.
Good. Okay, so let's go around here. Why don't we start over here? Why don't I follow well, you're first anyway, so Steve Cannon for
Unfortunately, due to my
recreation.
hectic work schedule and travel, I haven't been at Heritage in a long time. Plus, they adjusted the time, which made it a little more difficult for me to get there. And as well as, I haven't been here in, I think, 2 or 3 meetings. So I have nothing to report at this point. Tomorrow is the Recreation Commission meeting, so I will be in attendance for that.
Great, well, welcome back. You've been busy. So Bob Leary would have given the school facilities and budget, but he's not here tonight. I know he's probably heading to budget from what I'm hearing him.
He will be back
He's
with
just
the
gone.
budget
He's
for
just absent
Thursday.
tonight.
Thursday.
Is that a game?
So planning board, and that's for Kevin Lynch.
I went to the board meeting, it went well. We approved 2 plans that night. Okay, I can't even remember what they were, there's so many things. What were they again?
Zoning, hopefully.
The lobster boat, and there's a site plan for the lobster boat for 2 6-unit buildings in the back. And the other one was Rick. Yeah. It's all good. That's the other site plan for a fence company to construct where the big pile of sand is. That won't be happening till next spring because the sand's in the way. And they all know about it, but the plan did get approved for that.
It was continued, the case was continued to a time and date certain, so I think it's gonna be in October.
Yeah, it was approved continuous on set, but it was approved,
Nice. All right, we have
subject
John.
to planning board conditions.
All right, John Brunel has conservation, emergency management, and energy.
So there hasn't been any meetings since the last one, but I do have a couple updates from a conservation perspective. The Brooklyn Bridge project is well underway and full. Site work has been done, and they're actually starting to lay their poles across the waterway. Grocer Farm survey contract was awarded, and they're expecting the survey of the wetlands to start next week. And then, obviously, I think Marion mentioned it tonight too, the Musterfield archaeology study presentations Thursday at 6:30 at the fire station. So please come out and attend. I can't wait to see the Brooklyn Bridge.
We built two of those back in the 60s and 70s to cross Chase Brook and to cross Brookyard for snowmobiling from one end of town to the other, from the town line at the south, and you can go all the way up to the north end of town.
Oh, yeah?
Back in the day before you all came.
Here we go.
Sorry.
And we didn't get permission to do it back then. It was just done in the winter.
All right, let's see. Capital Improvement Planning Commission, I do not see a meeting scheduled. I heard the 8th, but,
I believe October 8th.
okay, October 8th. So I'll make sure it gets into the calendar here. Maybe we just didn't update it. All right, the one on September 16th was canceled, so we're meeting October 8th. And according to the last meeting, we wanted people to come to the Board of Selectmen first before they presented to the SIP, so they are aware of that. Economic Development Committee, we met September 12th. We had a focus group here. We had 5 people from the public come. That was nice. It did take from about 6:30 to 8:30 to bring them up to speed about how the map works today, the land use. We went over the survey results, the initial survey results, and we started to talk about pros and cons or weaknesses and strengths of the town, just infrastructure-wise. At 8:30, we kind of tapped out, so we're gonna have to have a second meeting to now start coming up with some recommendations. So they did start walking over to the map with the pins, but everybody was burnt out at about 8:30. So we are meeting again on September 25th, which is in 2 days. And we'll probably invite everybody back. They're all willing to come back, which is good. All right, NRPC, we had the full commissioner meeting on September 18th. Safe streets discussion, they went around town by town to say what is working in your town for driver and walking safety, pedestrians, and what is, working and what is not. So they are gathering a lot of data. There are gonna be some grants coming out on the 4-year plan. We're gonna try to get about $250,000, hopefully for Albuquerque, if they wanna do some, improvements there. We'll work on that. Our next meeting for the full commission is November 20th. It's gonna be a big meeting, the 10-year transportation plan, and everyone who put in a project, there was $370 million of requests, but we only have $7 million to hand out. So we're gonna be doing the ranking on that. Litchfield did not put in for anything, so we will be one of the towns ranking the other ones that did, and our regional plan update will also be going on. The NRPC nonprofit piece we're still working on the wheelchair scooter ride. We have a grant, we're just trying to work on the vetting to make sure, you really need this service. There's no other way that you can, get to where you need. And that's for the whole region, it's not just for Litchfield. And that's what I have there. All right. Next, we have a non-public session. So, that's what's on the list here, huh?
I think it's a placeholder.
It's a placeholder? Even better. Does anybody want a 91A? Non-public? For reputation or anything? All right. All right. Well, does anybody else have anything they want to add? I do. Welcome back, Russ. Anybody else have anything else? No? John, good? Thank you, Karen, for sitting in. We appreciate it. All right. All right. So I'll entertain a motion if anybody would like to adjourn.
So moved.
Steve, and second. Anybody?
Second.
John?
I'll let John do it.
All right. All those say aye.
Aye.
Nay. Abstain. All right. 4-0-0. We
is
are
a
ending the
record,
meeting at 8:03.
This is a record.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. You can shut the button back there, guy.
So, are we off?
Are we off the air? Easy, the big guy.